Welcome to Lee Kyo Jung channel. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to support me in creating more meaningful videos. Today, we follow Sung Luyen, a quiet, resilient mother, as she begins another long day of labor, a day shaped by responsibility rather than choice. Her life does not revolve around ambition or comfort, but around one simple hope: that her young daughter can continue going to school and hold on to a future brighter than the road her mother walks. Before the first sunlight touches the mountain slopes, before the mist loosens its grip on the trees, Sung Luyen is already awake. The morning is cold and silent. Inside her small wooden house, the air feels still, almost fragile. She rises slowly, careful not to make noise. This moment belongs to her alone. There are no complaints, no questions asked of life, only acceptance and movement. She ties her hair, slips into a jacket worn thin by years of use, and steps outside. The ground is damp beneath her feet, the path narrow and uneven. She walks with steady balance, not rushing, not stopping. She has learned something important over time. Strength is not about speed, it is about endurance. As she descends the mountain, the world begins to wake. Birds call softly in the distance. Smoke drifts upward from nearby homes. Another day unfolds, indifferent to hardship, moving forward all the same. At the market, vendors begin arranging their goods. A small food shop opens early, its dim lights glowing against the gray morning air. Sung Luyen pauses at the entrance for a brief moment, not out of fear, but humility, then quietly asks if there is work she can do. She does not ask for comfort. She does not ask for sympathy, only for the chance to earn something today. Inside, the remains of the breakfast rush fill the sink. Stacks of plates and bowls wait in silence. Cold water runs, and when Sung Luyen places her hands beneath it, the chill travels quickly through her fingers. She inhales once, then begins. Plate by plate, bowl by bowl. Her movements are careful, methodical, unhurried. The water numbs her hands, but she keeps working. Pain, she knows, passes. Missed opportunity does not. The sound of dishes touching echoes softly, forming a steady rhythm, the rhythm of repetition, of survival built on small, consistent effort. Within that rhythm, her thoughts drift. She thinks of her daughter waking up back home, of a school uniform folded neatly, of books waiting on a small table, of a child still allowed to dream because her mother refuses to stop. Each dish she cleans feels insignificant on its own, but together they form something larger, a quiet resistance against giving up. No one stops to praise her. No one notices the stiffness in her shoulders or the cold settling deep into her hands. Yet meaning does not require witnesses. Some sacrifices are invisible. They do not announce themselves. They simply repeat, day after day, until a future slowly takes shape. Life does not pause to ask if she is tired. It continues forward, demanding adaptation. So Sung Luyen adapts, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with persistence. Minutes pass. The pile of dishes grows smaller. Her hands wrinkle from the water. Her arms ache, yet her focus remains steady. She understands something clearly now. Progress does not always look like change. Sometimes it looks like consistency. When the last dish is finished, she straightens her back slowly and releases a quiet breath. The task is complete. She dries her hands, thanks the shop owner with a gentle smile, and steps back outside.
The sun has risen higher, warming the air just enough to be noticed. For many people, this is simply the start of an ordinary day. But for Sung Luyen, it is a confirmation. A confirmation that effort, even when unseen, still matters. That moving forward, even slowly, still protects what is precious. She walks away from the shop, carrying fatigue in her body, but resolve in her heart. Because as long as she continues today, tomorrow remains possible.
When the hired work is finished, Sung Luyen does not rest. She returns home briefly, sets her things down, and prepares for the next task waiting ahead. There is still work to do, and time does not pause. She turns toward the mountain once more. The path upward is steep. Clouds hang low, wrapping the trail in mist. A light drizzle falls, quiet but persistent, soaking the air and softening the ground beneath her feet. Still, she climbs. Each step requires balance. Each breath must be measured. The mountain does not make the journey easy, but it does not block the way either. It simply asks whether one is willing to continue. Life often feels the same. Storms arrive without warning. The road grows harder just when strength begins to fade. Yet stopping is rarely an option, so forward becomes the only direction. The vegetable garden appears through the mist, vibrant and green against the gray sky. Rows of fresh plants sway gently in the rain, rooted firmly into the mountain soil. Here, Sung Luyen slows down. She kneels beside the plants and begins harvesting carefully, choosing the larger roots, loosening the soil with patience. Her hands move gently, deliberately, ensuring the vegetables remain intact. Rushing would only cause damage, and nothing she carries today can be wasted. The rain continues to fall, dampening her hair, darkening her sleeves. Water trickles down her neck, but she does not stop. She has learned to work with discomfort rather than fight it. Each vegetable placed into the basket is another quiet promise, another small contribution toward the evening ahead, another reason to keep going. The basket grows heavier with time. Her back stiffens. Her knees ache as she rises again and again. Yet her expression remains calm, focused, shaped by years of repetition and resolve. When the basket is finally full, she secures it tightly and lifts it onto her back. The weight presses down immediately, steady and demanding. She adjusts her posture, finds her balance, and begins the descent. The way down is more dangerous than the climb. The ground is slick from the rain, stones hidden beneath mud. One careless step could send her sliding. She moves slowly, carefully, placing each foot before shifting her weight. Her body leans forward, countering the load on her back. Every step is deliberate. The mist thickens, wrapping the mountain in silence. Only the sound of rain and measured footsteps remains. This is not an easy journey, but it is a familiar one. Sung Luyen understands something deeply now. Progress is not always fast, and strength is not always loud. Sometimes it is simply the willingness to keep walking, even when the path is wet, steep, and uncertain. She continues downward, basket heavy, shoulders tired, yet her direction clear. Because the road may be difficult, but what waits at the end of it is worth the effort.
When Sung Luyen reaches the market, the rain is still falling. A light drizzle settles on her shoulders, seeping into her clothes, but it does not slow her steps. She walks forward calmly, blending into the steady flow of people moving through the narrow paths. The market is crowded and alive. Umbrellas brush past one another. Footsteps splash against the wet ground. Voices rise and fade, calling out prices, greeting familiar faces, continuing the rhythm of daily life. Even under the rain, the market refuses to pause. Sung Luyen moves carefully through the rows of stalls, scanning for an empty space. After a moment, she finds one, a small open spot between two vendors. She stops, asks politely for permission to stay, and gently lowers the bamboo basket from her back. The weight leaves her shoulders, and she exhales quietly. She opens the basket and begins arranging the vegetables. Her hands move slowly and deliberately, placing each bundle neatly, straightening the leaves, aligning them with care. These vegetables were harvested through mist and rain, carried down a slippery mountain path. She wants them to reflect that effort. Around her, other vendors display fruits and vegetables of every kind. Bright colors stand out against the gray sky. The space feels busy, almost overwhelming, yet Sung Luyen remains focused. When everything is ready, she sits down beside her goods and waits. Waiting is its own kind of work. There is no movement, no guarantee, only patience stretched across time. She watches people pass by, notices glances that pause, then drift away. Each passing moment carries both hope and uncertainty. Her hands rest quietly in her lap. Her posture is calm, but her thoughts remain alert. She knows that today's harvest represents more than food. It represents whether the long climb, the rain, and the effort were enough. Minutes pass slowly. Then, a woman approaches. She is a vegetable shop owner, experienced and observant. She examines the produce carefully, checking the freshness, the size, the care taken in harvesting. Sung Luyen remains silent, standing respectfully nearby. After a brief moment, the woman looks up and asks a simple question. She wants to buy everything. For a heartbeat, Sung Luyen does not react. Then relief arrives softly. Her face brightens and a genuine smile appears. She rises and begins gathering the vegetables back into the basket. Her movements are lighter now, smoother, filled with quiet satisfaction. What once felt heavy suddenly feels purposeful. She lifts the basket once more and carries it to the woman's stall. The exchange is simple and fair. Money changes hands. The vegetables find their next destination. With the sale complete, the tension of the day slowly dissolves. Sung Luyen steps away from the market as the rain continues to fall. It no longer feels like a burden, just part of the journey. Her work for the day is finished. She begins walking back toward the mountain, toward the small house waiting above. Her body is tired, but her steps remain steady. There is comfort in knowing that today's effort was enough. Life is not always gentle. The path is often crowded, wet, and uncertain. But continuing forward, even when conditions are difficult, keeps hope alive. Sung Luyen walks on, carrying rest ahead of her and strength earned through perseverance. If this story resonated with you, if you believe in resilience, patience, and quiet determination, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us continue sharing stories like this, stories of ordinary people who move forward one step at a time.